Good morning, RV, right? Thank you for coming from Berlin. Thank you. That's far. How can I take the silence into my daily life while I'm meeting other people? So that's a good question. Basically, we use another word, mindfulness. Like right now, okay, you can take this into the practice. You are listening to my voice or watching my image, and same time I'm talking to you. Between each word I'm talking to you and between each words you're listening, there's a gap. First, recognize that gap, right? Or kind of silence. It's not total silence yet, but if you're alert enough, there's always gap between your mental activities. And that gap you can expand into the activity. It's kind, if you look around you, basically you look at the objects in your room. For example, your computer or cell phone right now, right? But everything, or your windows, doors, and so on, but everything rests in the space. Make sense? Without space, no objects. So you're looking at the computer right now, but also you notice the computer occupy a form, a form of space, or a little space in a form of computer or cell phone. So if you can expand this space into the whole room. So in that perspective, the space itself contains everything that you're looking at. So in this analogy, in the same way, your awareness includes every mental activity, every body sensation, every word you're listening. So in that same way, the silence is behind every activity you're doing, every sound you're listening. It's always there. You seem to lose it because you're not calm enough, or you're not trained enough to notify there's a space, there's a around every object you're looking at, and there's a silence behind every sound you're hearing. In the same way, your awareness is the background of your everyday activities. Basically, traditionally, we use mindfulness, like you're mindful of listening now, you're mindful of your body sensation, your breath, your surroundings, right? But who is mindful? Who are you? You're the awareness, you see? So silence is another word of awareness, but awareness is more like it brings to you your presence to this moment. You're aware. So no matter you're doing something, like listening, talking, or not doing something, you just sit there quietly and doing nothing, not engage any activity. The awareness is in the activity and in the non-doing too. So it is in the doing and in the non-doing too. So there's consistency. You see, there's a consistency of awareness no matter you're doing or not doing. Make sense to you now? Silence is a word, how to say, comparing to sounds or noise, right? It's a relative to vibrations, okay? So if you expand that silence in the relation to the sound or voice, you expand this meaning to a broader or greater uh, perspective. So everything you see, you hear, you touch, you sense, you smell, you taste is a vibration. So the silence is behind every vibration. It's the universal unified field which every object, every atom, every molecule, every tissue and organ, every object in the nature arise and it disappears. So in that context, silence is the universal unified field. If I use a physics term, a term in the physics. Ignore all my words. My words is pointing to that understanding, which is primary for you. Can you connect to your silence now? I point again to your source. It's my source, it's your source, and there's no difference between your source and my source and her source and his source. It's a universal, unified source. So that's why silence is the language of God. And the best communication is in silence. Very weird thing. No worry. Yes, please write it down if it's helpful. And try to meditate every day, couple minutes, to really experience it. So knowledge only is not enough. Okay? Knowledge only is not enough, especially literally understanding. Literally understanding or knowledge is not enough. You have to bring it into practice. It's like if you know how to cook a delicious food, you look at the menu, you understand every recipes, and oh, there's every recipes of that cooking, but you have to cook. You have to use a fire. You have to cut. You have to mix everything, and practice plus knowledge, or knowledge plus practice. It's it's a mutual beneficial, more practice, more understanding, more understanding, more practice, more practice, more understanding, until you reach no practice at all. You are learning by yourself in silence. No books. You need no books, no teacher. You need no nothing to be aware. Hi. So at this moment, watch the thoughts or mental activities in your mind. I try to understand what this guy is talking about. I have questions raising the very thoughts whose intention is to awaken or to enlighten should be watched. Yeah, musician is a great job. So I have some students or clients. I'm a practitioner of Chinese medicine, acupuncturist, and herbal medicine. So I have some clients coming from musicians. So I used just simply ask you where the musical notes arise from. Yes, yes, vibration. So vibration from a piano string or from violin string, from any musical instruments, from touching of some physical, contact, right? But all these vibrations coming from no vibration, from silence. So silence is a related word to vibration, as space is a relative word to object. Or you can space and object is more visual, coming from our six senses of visual contact, while the sound and silence is coming from listening, or our ears. Connect through your eyes and ears right now, and try to overlooking the object, or you see the space. So you change from object consciousness to space consciousness. Oh, you notice, except all the objects you're looking at, there's a space. They, they are temporarily occupying a space in that form. In the same way, any sound you're listening, including my voice or the buzzing of a computer, it's a temporary vibration or occupation of silence where there's no sound at all. And if you really recognize what I'm pointing to, you are silence, you are the space. The awareness is silent all the time, while the objects you're aware of, the contents you're aware of, is in constant chain of changing or moving or vibrating. Or you see, you have a separate between the objects, the sounds, and the space and silence. The first step of awakening, you have that space. Like you're not in the object, you are the space. You have that separation first. First step. Then second step, I just give you a quick, you have the infusion with the objects. I mean, infusion between the space and object, between the silence and sound. But to have really understanding of that, you have the separation first, then infusion or union or yoga, okay, or united or connected. Music notes are like ripples on water. Yes. Ripples of water. So who is the water? You are the water now. You receive the ripples. You watch the ripples. You perceive all the ripples. Without you, no ripples, no sound. You see, no image, no body sensation. There's a source where six senses, including thinking, arise and it disappears. So always back to the self, as you said, but self is not literal understanding, it's your direct experience right at this moment. Always connect to, back to, zoom back, step back, zoom out. If you can at least temporarily become the self, be the self, yes, higher uppercase S, E, L, F, the true self. It's not the egoic self, okay? If you can temporarily Notify it that you are self. You are the pure awareness behind every happening, all happening right now. Then congratulations. So you need rest in that recognition or identification constantly, more and more often, you know, by meditation until you don't need any effort. It's right here and now, always, always, always. You're present always. Okay, I'd like to end this session in silence again. If you do have question, I can answer you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Vancouver time. So every Sunday and Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Uh, Vancouver time, I will be here